Today we're going to learn the difference between intramolecular and intermolecular bonding. First, let's start with intramolecular. Intermolecular bonds are bonds between atoms in a compound, and they're usually pretty strong. If strong intramolecular bonds are broken, chemical change occurs. Some types of intermolecular bonds include metallic, ionic, covalent, and network covalent bonding. Okay, let's look at how to draw intermolecular bonds. We usually represent intermolecular with bolded lines between atoms, as in H2O. Okay, in this example of NAF, the bond is between them because they're opposite charges, and bonds can only happen if there's an attraction. Okay, in carbon dioxide, we have to put a double bond and represent that with bolded lines. And lastly, in NH3, to show the bonding between the H's and the N, we put the bolded lines. Now let's look at intermolecular bonds. Intermolecular bonds are bonds between two or more compounds. And the attraction has to be between opposite charges. So in NAF and NAF, the Na has a positive charge and then F has a negative charge. So this Na is going to attract to this negative F. Okay. When weak intermolecular bonds are broken, physical change occurs. Some types of intermolecular bonding is hydrogen bonds, which are the strongest, then dipole-dipole, London dispersion, ion-dipole forces. Okay, let's look at how to draw intermolecular bonding. We represent an intermolecular bond with a dotted line. And remember, it has to be between opposite charges in the separate compounds. So for example, if we want intermolecular bonding between these two compounds, we have to make sure that the charges are opposite. And we represent that with a dotted line. Okay, let's look at H2O. The H's are a positive charge and the O is a negative charge, so that's going to attract. Okay, let's look at NH3s. The H has to attract to an N, so it's going to attract like that. And intramolecular bonds are usually stronger than intermolecular bonding. Now pause the video and try these practice problems on your own. Now let's review the answers. In number 1, this would be an intramolecular bond because they're solid lines. In number 2, this would also be an intramolecular bond because of the solid line. And here we have a dotted line, so that's going to be inter. Now let's go over how to draw the inter and intermolecular bonds. Here we have H2O. So if we have two compounds, we have to combine them with intramolecular bonds. And then we'll combine the two compounds to make an intermolecular bond. And you could have either made a bond there or could have made your bond there. Both answers are correct. Okay, now let's decide which bond is stronger, 1 or 2. In almost every case, the intermolecular bonds are going to be the strongest because intermolecular are only attractions between compounds, where this is a solid bond.